Hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome to this kind of part one, and then next week will be kind of part two of the Equinox edition. The new moon is Wednesday, so we can call it the new moon edition as well. But the all things are going on edition is kind of where we're at. So welcome, welcome, welcome. As we always say, things in threes. Forget Jacob Tutu. There's three times whatever. Anyway, it's all good. Welcome to this wonderful Saturday night. With the time change, we have a much brighter time at 6 or 7 o'clock rather, for us to enjoy, which is nice. It's a bit of a mind mess, but whatever. Throws everybody off for the first little while, off kilter, right? Trying to get their adjustments right because you're a whole hour ahead of where you were, just a few days back. But we get used to it. We adapt because that's what we do. So anyway, I hope all is well in everyone's world, and I am looking forward to this particular episode of Psychic Saturday Night Live. So I'm going to let the algorithm do its thing. I got me another list this week of all things that I want to chat about quickly. I think it's really important for us to address some of the things that happen, of course, throughout the week and the world. And there's been a lot going on, as you know. Anywho, okay, so, if you're ever interested in some of the things that may pique your, interest and awareness of, in terms of what's important to note, check out my feed, because I throw that stuff out there. I only post the stuff that Spirit says, people need to know. There's a nugget here. There's a nugget here. There's a clue here. There's a connection to be made here. And so that's what I post, for the most part. You'll know the things that aren't. Like those funny pet videos and stuff. They're so sweet. They're just to lighten us all up a little bit, because Lord knows we need it, right? Okay. March 14th. Oh my goodness. Flying through the month. Tomorrow is the middle of it already, pretty much. And here in Ontario, we've had some really wonky weather, really, really warm weather. And then now we're back to minus temperatures again. It's just doing this. And, I guess that's climate change. Global warming, whatever. I don't know. You know what I'm feeling about that, people. Okay. There's a few things on this list I really want to chat about. So, yeah, I'm really glad everybody's joining me here. And I thank you for joining me the times that you do. For those of you who join me every Saturday night, I really appreciate that. For those who just pop in now and then, and for those who just watch a little while and then kind of click me off, that's cool. It's all good. Just get what you need and get out. It's all good, I guess. It's fine. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to help enlighten people with information, truth, knowledge. Knowledge is power. And when you know stuff, you're not only powerful here, but you're powerful in your light. You glow. The more you know, the more you glow. So just saying. Okay. Typical Saturday night stuff. We're going to do our tarot, our brick. And tonight we're going to do the Seeds of Light that we did not do last week. And another brand new deck. Manifesting Your Mastery. Why? Because we are seeds of light who have blossomed. Everybody talks about star seeds. Well, the star seeds have blossomed, so we're star blossoms now. As far as I can tell, everybody is kind of in the process of blooming, blossoming, doing all of that wonderful stuff. To where? To what end? To manifest our mastery, because that's what we're here for. Oh, and where are my weirdos at? Listen, ever since I was a little girl, I have not necessarily fit in with all the big cliques. Every school has them. In my elementary Catholic school, grab this, we had our own version of that. And the teachers actually named them the herd. That was how cliquey that group was. I was not a part of that because I'm a weirdo. I've always been a little bit outside of the norm. And so this one's dedicated to the weirdos tonight, because it's because of us, that a lot of this truth comes out. A lot of this truth gets spread and shared and, helps to illuminate people, because we're brave enough and bold enough to actually tell it like it is. So, yeah, I appreciate you all. And I'd like to also mention, for those who have trouble with certain symbols, everything is about symbolism, as you know, in this world, and that's why you have trouble with it. But a lot of people mistake the symbol here and the symbol here for something that is not what this symbol is. Remember, you're living in an inversion. Everything has been twisted and turned upside down so that you think this is, what's really bad. And so you see the symbol, you don't recognize what it's really doing. But if you note, the symbol is actually an ancient symbol. It's on many cathedrals, believe it or not, and all kinds of different churches throughout Europe. The pentagram, the pentacle itself is, as long as that point, that center point is up, it's the good one. If it's upside down and it looks like horns, that's an issue. That's the inverted one, right? That's the one that is not good. And when you see people spouting that one around and sporting that one, that's an issue. So I don't want people to take offense, because this is actually an ancient symbol of the goddess. And this is an honoring of her, really, this is her time. We've had 2 Friday the 13th in a row in 2 months. Like, that's something. People go, oh, well, whatever, you're superstitious. No, first of all, everything is superstition. If you believe it, it's going to be, right? Like, that's how it all works down here. So, like, really, there's no such thing as superstition. That was kind of a coined term to make a distinction with people. But ultimately, if you believe in something, it's going to work. It's going to happen exactly like you believe it to be, because that's how the energetics play out down here. But nonetheless, the 13th the Friday the 13th of any month is a very powerful day. And it is actually a divine feminine recognition day, where we can honor the goddess. That beautiful feminine force that is so prevalent, so powerful, so important to us, and our awareness of it helps to bring it back to where it's meant to be. It has been cast aside, and we've been very, very male, divine, masculine, based, oriented, whatever, for a long time now. Patriarchy has been the thing, right? So it's time to bring the balance back. And that happens when you bring the feminine aspect back. And I'd like to bring, that actually helps me segue into this next little bit here. The divine feminine was very much a part of the awareness of sacred texts, right? Like, she was in there. Like, you can't have that's just the way it is. Masculine, feminine. There's a polarity and there's a duality there. And so, anyway, the goddess was poo-pooed along the way, but nonetheless, she is making a comeback, and we see it, in so many ways, in so many areas, and we have to honor that, right? So I'm kind of going to go off there a little bit. The Bible basically transformed the divine feminine into the Holy Spirit. You had feminine representatives of certain holiness, we'll say, right? I.e. Mary and others, like, Elizabeth, who was John the Baptist's mother and stuff. They were recognized as being sacred. But there was no deity that was of a feminine nature to be acknowledged. And so that's kind of interesting, but this is where she comes back. She's making a comeback. And so these 2 months in a row, February being an incredibly powerful month for light, and March being that one that resets things and sets things straight again and balances things out. You can't make stuff like that up. I don't care. And maybe I'm stretching a little bit with it, but I don't know. I read something into everything. That's kind of my job. So, just saying, I think it's really cool that we've had this. And, we might even have a couple more. I didn't even bother to look through the rest of the year, but there might just very well be a few more. Wednesday is the new moon. I do want to acknowledge that. The new moon energy is all about, initiations, fresh starts, new beginnings, things like that. So if you're looking to, begin projects or do spring cleaning and things of that nature, where you're initiating yourself into a whole new frame of mind. This is a great week to do it. Also, because of that energetic force that's happening, being beneficial to you, I'll also throw in that the equinox is also helpful in that way too, helping to reset and recenter ourselves into places of balance, right? Where we need to be completely balanced out. 12 hours of light, 12 hours of dark. That's where we're at. The equinox that's it. And it jumps us right into spring. It's technically the first of the year. That's why April Fools is actually April Fools. Do some research. It's really interesting. When they switched from the lunar calendars to the Gregorian calendar, they moved everything back to the beginning of the year. And so those people who still celebrate were called fools, because you're celebrating something that has been changed and whatever. So April Fools is actually not for fools. It's for the wise ones who know the true calendar. Just saying. Okay, what else we got going on? Oh yeah. And it's wonderful, right? This energy, that whole, and it's going to carry right into our next Saturday Night Live. So it's really cool. Few things you'll find on my feed as well. Larry Silverstein, there's a big thing. There's a sort of a trending meme right now about Larry Silverstein. Larry Silverstein, if you don't know who that guy is, he actually owned the Twin Towers at the turn of the millennium there and into 2001, and just happened to have the good sense about him, some sort of wild intuition, and up the policy, insurance policy on those buildings the day before they came down. If I could wink, I'd be doing it right here. Anywho, and cashed in not only on the policy because it was an act of terrorism, but brilliant move on his part, actually managed to claim it as 2 incidents specifically, and so doubled up on the double up and managed to bank a heck of a lot of money. Anywho, bought himself the U.S. Bank Tower back in 2020, I see. And I thought it was recent, but it's actually 2020. And so I'm not really sure what's going on there, but if I worked in the vicinity of that place, I'd probably be looking for a new job. Just because he talks a lot about the drones from Iran coming around, how they got a lot of them. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff going on there. And if you're checking into stuff, check into the whole Doug Ford and the Starlink deal, please. Like, we couldn't use that money to help house the people that are living on the streets, for heaven's sakes. But anyway, and what is this? I don't know. It seems to be like a news program. That's sort of a news program, but there's so much I actually wanted to talk about. I probably should just do my own videos of that. But anyway, lots of stuff going on. This crossing the floor stuff, watch what's going on with that too. There's a lot happening there. Here in Canada, we have some interesting happenings in Parliament. Just saying. Oh, and please be aware, a lot of stuff coming out with the FDA. Okay. This is really important to me because this has been 6 years ongoing, and then there's other stuff that's coming out because of the 6 years ongoing. But a lot of things are coming out to the public about not just the efficacy of certain products that we've been told were safe, but also the warnings that come with them. Been changed big time. So please look into that stuff. And yeah, we're going to do these for as long as we can, because Bill C9 might be an issue for people in the future. Just for a little while. Things are going to get worked out. I've been looking into it. I've been checking it, with my guys. I'm like, okay, you guys, it looks pretty bleak. Like, can I offer anybody some really light at the end of the tunnel that doesn't seem like a train? And it's coming. It is coming, and it's not barreling down on us as the train that we thought it was. It's literally the light of liberation that is coming. A lot of stuff. You see it happening around the world. There's a lot of liberation happening. Really cool stuff is coming to the surface, and a lot of truth is being revealed. And so it's really an important time, of course, for us to be discerning of things, but also to be optimistic. For instance, in Amsterdam, there's a court case happening. If you're not aware of this yet, I would like to inform you. There's a court case happening where the Dutch courts are hearing testimony, potentially hearing testimony. Right now they've got an appeal underway, but potentially hearing testimony against Gates, Fauci, Borla, Pfizer, like all of these names that many of us have been like screaming from the rooftops for years now. They're going to be held accountable. Like there's a great possibility that these, whoever they are, whoever they show up as anyway, are going to be held accountable. And justice just might be served here. Like that's kind of an interesting thought. Since most of us don't think that that's going to happen because we don't see any arrests going on yet. Right? We do see, however, if you are watching the alternative media, let me tell you, the big names that we're watching for, you know, kind of having whatever, whether they're arrests or whatever it might be, the depositions that were going on that were just incredibly blatant just deceit. But like, it's coming. I'm telling you right now, it's amazing. Anyway, okay. April 9th is when we're going to hear about the Dutch court. Oh, yeah, and I won't talk about all of that, but I will talk about this. You know, back in the day, back in September on the 10th, when a big event happened, just before 9/11. Since then, this widow has been, well, picking up the pieces. Let's put it that way. Picking up the pieces of her shattered life and moving forward. God bless Erica. Anywho, I thought it was really interesting to see that she's been appointed to the Air Force Academy's Board of Visitors. Now, there's a lot of people who have questions about this lady because there's a lot of questions to be had about this lady, to be asked about her. And incidentally, they shall be asked. Because apparently when you get appointed to the board, visitors rather, there's a major security check that goes down. And so it just might come out, you know, her connections too, because let me tell you folks, she has got some interesting connections. I've checked all this stuff out psychically, so I'm not spouting about stuff that isn't verifiable. I'm just saying. Watch what's going on there. It's very interesting stuff. All the world's a stage. And we are all but players upon it. Every one of us. And the fact is, you know, you got to laugh at this stuff. Because if you don't, you'll get pretty angry. And that's the point. We can't let it get us down. We cannot let it take us to those places where we're angry and we're upset and we're, you know, infuriated. And believe me, I've been there a few times recently because there's a lot of stuff that can certainly infuriate people. And there's a whole list of it right there. So anyway, but nonetheless, here we go. So thank you all for joining me tonight. Thank you all for being here with me every time you join me and listening to me talk about whatever I end up talking about, whatever shows up, whatever comes out. Tarot tonight, the brick as we do, and like I said earlier, seeds of light and what? Manifesting your mastery. This is actually by Monica Murani. I think you pronounce the Y. Anyway, she worked with Cryon. Probably pretty closely. And the Seeds of Light, wink, wink. Seeds of Light here by Danielle Venablis. Venablis? Anyway, all right. Beautiful cards, really good vibrations. So, here we are. Let's have a little do at, oh, we didn't break them up. Look. So we break them up. What do we got in the bottom? We have the King of Wands and the Seven of Pentacles. King of Wands, all about the dynamism, the beautiful dynamic of our world. There's so much. Send light everywhere. Whatever you can do, send light everywhere. As much as possible, for as long as possible. Even if it's just a few minutes at a time. Imagine this world lit right up. Brilliant, bright, radiant light. No darkness. No shadows. Why? Because it feeds her. It gives her Mother Earth the energy. It gives her the force that she needs to also rise above the darkness. To leave it behind. Transmute it, absorb it, whatever has to happen. That's the divine plan. So, here we go. All right. the dynamic is, you know, pretty complex right now, but it's pretty amazing still. The Seven of Pentacles, well, that talks a lot about feeling frustrated about the way things are and not getting what you need, not getting what you want, those kinds of things. People seeing these, you know, these files and no arrests is kind of frustrating, I must say, to, you know, to help people recognize that you're not alone if that's what you're feeling. It just seems so unjust. Like, how can that not happen? How can that not be the first thing we see going on, right? These arrests and these lineups of these incredible criminals. That's how you know it's a show. That is right there how you know it is not real. Eventually, we might see that stuff, but collectively, we haven't been strong enough to bring it together yet. When enough of the people demand and command that energy, not necessarily demand. I don't want to use the word demand, because to me, demand is not, it's not a power place. Demand is a place where you're afraid you're not going to get what you want, right? So you demand something. But when you're in command of yourself or the situation, shit just happens for you. It just happens. So the Seven of Pentacles, being that frustration card, says, you know what, we value what's going on in the world, and we're frustrated with the way it's going on or what's going down, and that's okay. So Four of Wands talks about surrendering to our role, you know, recognizing that, you know, we are here to do something. We are here to save the planet. Oh, you're not here to save the planet. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. And how do you do it? Not by, you know, staging huge protests, organizing massive, you know, walks, what, none of that. Just by shining your light. In that shining of your light, whatever comes out of that, right? Like you're going to be maybe in alignment with something that is perfectly suited for you to be in a protest, where you're standing there and you're walking your light down the street somewhere. Maybe it takes place some other way. You know, it doesn't really matter. Ultimately, we're here to just shine our light. And however that plays out for you and however you find yourself doing that is exactly what you're supposed to do. As long as you feel good doing it. When you don't feel good, don't do it. Take some time for yourself. Make sure you get to that place where you do feel good, and then go do it. Because, yeah, it's heavy, and we've got to lighten it up. And it's hard, because you know, you need to laugh at times, but there's not a lot to laugh at right now. It's pretty sad. It's pretty sad. So, you got to find the things that remind you of why you're here. What it is your soul decided it was coming here to do, and to share, to be, and to bring to the table. Seven of Pentacles again, with the Two of Wands this time. The Two of Wands. Now look at this card. This is Jason. Jason of Jason and the Argonauts, who was commissioned by the king to go get back the Golden Fleece, which is, as I've said before, a real thing. But you see in the cave there, who's in the background there? That's Chiron, the wounded healer. The most, you know, revered warrior, centaur warrior of his time. I don't know, I just joke around with the whole, he got shot in the butt with an arrow, and that was it for him. From that point on, he decided he was going to teach the heroes, not be the hero. And so he did. He taught Jason, he taught Hercules, he taught Theseus, he taught so many others. Those who can't do teach is where that comes from, I believe. You know, it's very wise. He teaches us, you know, how to find that inner hero inside, and how to become that inner hero. And each and every one of us can be a hero, you know. Which brings me to one little final point. Oh, and then I'm going to do a little housekeeping in another way. You can be the hero. You know, this world looks pretty bleak. But there are ways that we can reclaim our power. There are ways that we can take back what was taken from us. And we are not helpless, and we are not hopeless. We are not victims, unless we want to be. And so keep an eye on my feed, because I'm going to be doing another video with Sheila McFarlane. And we're going to be talking about her POG playbook. See, she came out with a primer that talked about, you know, what happened, and to prime people for what's going on. the protocol came along to tell you, where it went wrong and what we can do to reclaim it. The playbook is a step-by-step. Playbook is the step-by-step. We can take back our power, and that federal government crap that we see that infuriates us and gets us all worked up, that really doesn't have to be a part of our experience, truthfully. We can come back to just being beautiful little municipalities, beautiful little cities and towns who just give a crap about the people within it and not so much the globalists. Not at all the globalists. And we can reclaim what was taken from us, because that's what happened, right? Back in 92, that power was taken away from us. And our mayors began swearing their oaths no longer to the people, to the crown, to the state, to the ones who are not the people. That's not right. So we can reclaim that. And that's what Sheila's stuff's all talking about. So watch for that, because we can do this. It doesn't cost much. I think it's May 1st that it opens up, that we can actually, register to run. And I don't think it's very much money, maybe a couple of $100. And you too can get your voice out there and help people recognize that this isn't hopeless, this isn't helpless, and we are not victims. There's a way. So, all about the light, as I always talk about. So, last bit of housekeeping before we pull the cards. Watch. I'm going to throw some programs on. I'm not sure which ones yet. Some very efficient and economical ones, for sure. And then some more, in-depth and deeper dives, for sure, where you're going to learn a lot about your spirituality, about who you are, where we are, what we're doing, and why it's important. And then, again, the shorter, the smaller, more economical, efficient experiences will be, geared to helping you find your power. I'm all about empowerment, as you may well know. 7 of Pentacles, there's that frustration. Last time, though, because what happens? We bring forward the High Priestess. This is her time. She comes out from the underworld and rejoins us in spring, becoming the Empress in spring. But through this winter time that we've just come through, her intuition, our intuition's strong, built stronger, especially those who are energetically sensitive. It was inevitable that you built up a stronger radar for everything. Your intuition is way off the charts now, because it's the time we need it. So the fire horse energy of this lunar new year is really charging forward, breaking through and breaking down all kinds of walls and barriers. It's awesome. So if that's happening in your world, just know that that's divine intervention for you right there. All right. Pull 3, mind, body, and spirit, to see where they're at with us tonight. All right, all this week. 1, mind, body, and spirit. Okay, got it. In the mind space. You see how many people? Yeah. Now, this is just an indication of where we are, especially here in Canada, and maybe those who are watching the news, and which I do not recommend. If you're watching the news, turn it off. Turn it off. Trust me. You're better off to turn it. The 9 of Swords comes in the mind space. The Hermit. Okay, so here we go. This last week, as I've said, it has been just chock full of all kinds of stuff, right? We've had, the time change for people, which has thrown people off kilter and just like really maybe disoriented them a little bit. The war that's gone on, like that just happened started last Saturday, just before our live last week. All of the stuff that's going on, right? The files are still coming out. The survivors, they're now releasing their own name lists. Like, they're like, screw you guys. If you're going to start crossing people out and, selecting what's being revealed, we're not doing that. And that's what I said in a post like a few days back, was like, let's hear from them. They have to know who's who. They've got stories to tell. Let's hear what that's going on with. So that's going on too, of course, and we all feel it. Even those people who I've been speaking to recently who are not keeping up with this information are feeling it. And it's because we are energetic beings, and that energy is moving through the airwaves. It's everywhere. If it's on people's lips, or it's on their phones, their devices, it's on the airwaves, on the Wi-Fi, on, coming from satellite. you're going to be exposed to it. And in some way, shape, or form, your energetic being is going to pick up on it. The substance of it, the actual, whatever it's about, the solidity of it all. That's what you're going to be feeling, and that's what you're going to be noting, whether you're watching or not. So that's what this is, facing fears. We have to face fears. There's a lot of people who are afraid that this whole war in Iran is going to be, hugely impactful here. Yeah, well, it could be. It's probably meant to be, but it's also how you view it and how you perceive it and what your perspective is of it. And so we are here in the mastery space to be in command of those thoughts. Remember, you've worked really hard. We've all worked really hard, especially doing these lives for the last year, to be in command of those thoughts so that they're not running amok, that they're not, derailing you every chance that they get. That no matter what you see, scrolling, doom scrolling with, or whatever, it doesn't matter. You stay in an awareness that says, that's okay. I see the shit show it is. I see that the whole play that's going on here. I see the show that's taking, the movie that's playing out. I'm not falling for it energetically. I'm not going to give into that. I'm not going to be a part of it. I'm going to be in this world, but I'm not going to be of it. I'm not going to let it be all I'm feeling. I'm going to keep it at bay. It's really important for us to do that. So facing these fears, these worries, these concerns, we see the gas prices going up and all that crap. There's no need for any of that. There's no need for any of that. We all know that. So you've got to learn to laugh it off, or at least don't let yourself get upset by it, right? So that Seven of Pentacles, that frustration we're feeling of like everything that's going on and we are helpless, we're not. We do have power. And until, something shifts within the political system, the most power that we have is our light and our awareness and what we do with that. They can't do anything about that. They can try and dim it all they want by shoving propaganda at you, by, putting stuff out there that's meant to incite fear in you. Or you can say, you know what, I see your game. I'm not playing it. Don't play it. Face the fears and recognize they're just fake. So the Nine of Swords is often referred to as the nightmare card, and you can see why. It's the one card that so many people go, ew, that doesn't look very nice, and it doesn't, does it? Oh my God. But what does a nightmare do? A nightmare helps you face your fears. That's what we have to do. Fear isn't real. Feels real when you're feeling it, that's for darn sure. But that's the physicality of ours, right? That's that limited experience that we have, that human squished into this tiny little meat suit that feels like everything is finite. We are eternal beings. And so we don't need to be afraid. Fear is just a construct that is part of our experience down here. It doesn't need to be. It's the vibrational anchor to the third density. We can let go and we can rise above. Just saying. Body comes in with what? A major card. The Hermit. Now the Hermit's a big deal because the Hermit is about going inside. And in the body space, we have to be aware of what's going on inside. So this is telling me to tell everybody it's a good time to do spring cleaning on the inside too. Not just on, in your world, your house, your, wherever, your car. Definitely on the inside too, with your thoughts and your physical, right? Your emotions, but your physical body as well. So it's a good time for detoxing. The new moon, you're just coming into that in the next, couple of days, of course. And so we still have a little bit of influence left of the full moon in its let go energy rather. But nonetheless, wait until the next full moon to do your cleanse if you want to. But when you're manifesting or when you're releasing, but on the upswing, sort of with the new moon, you just have to switch it around the way it looks, right? Or the way it comes out. So instead of letting go, you're actually amplifying what you want to bring in rather than what you're letting go of, right? So good time to bring in light, right? Instead of thinking about the things you want to let go of and the stuff that's inside that you don't need anymore and all that, just bring in light. It will take care of itself. It's kind of like the body's ability to heal. You just give it what it needs and it'll do its job. It'll do whatever needs to be done. people use stem cells, and I use these life wave patches that are really cool, and they actually activate stem cell activity, and that helps it goes through my body and fixes what needs to be fixed. Your body is the most sophisticated technology on this planet. You yourself are the most incredibly complex, but simple to operate technology. You just have to give the command, and your body listens and follows through. Just saying. Fill yourself with light, and lots of it, and watch what happens. It will push out all kinds of darkness, things that don't need to be there. And if you can continue to hold the light within and maintain a certain vibration or a frequency, now you're actually moving the molecular structure within yourself to vibrate at a place where, if it's high enough, illness can't reside. Illnesses, viruses, whatever it might be, cannot reside. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to fix a broken bone that way, but you can if you, I believe personally, for entertainment purposes only, I believe that you can mend your body. Your body does it anyway. Whether you're thinking about it or not, you have an innate system that's governing that process for you. Just saying. We are so amazing. We just have to learn to trust it, believe it, and trust that it can happen. And that has been taken from us. We've been taught we're not capable of doing these things, and yet your body proves it to you all the time. You get over colds, you get over illness, you heal from injuries, surgeries, all kinds of things. Who's doing that? How are you doing that? Be interesting to discover, right? Connect to your innate system. Your innate will tell you that is what's happening. It's your body's intelligence. It is your operating system. It's listening to you. And it's running your show. Because you don't tell yourself to breathe. You don't tell your heart to pump. So the soul card, the spirit card rather, comes in. And spirit's coming in to say, what? Be in a place of sovereignty within your heart space. They're going to help you stay there. You're going to go inside, fill yourself with light, overcome those fears, and be in this beautiful place of authority from that heart space. Because you know what? Love wins. Love wins. Love and light are all we need. There are people called breatharians on this planet. There's only a handful of them left, but surprisingly, they do still exist. And these people live off of breath. They do not eat food. They do not drink water, I do not believe. They just breathe. Breatharians, they're called. And we used to do that all the time before we ended up having to eat physical matter and density in order to be sustained down here. These people have the mindset that they are not in this space. They still exist from that space. And so they do. They just breathe. The breath they bring in converts to light, fuels their body, and they're good. Go figure. I mean, the guy wasn't even young. He'd been being bit like that for I don't know, I think the video said he was 25 or 30. Oh, he was still 23 years old? No, 23 years he'd been like that, living like that. Is that right, Merlin? Yeah, he'd been like that for 23 years. A practicing breatharian. Grab that. So just saying, be in an authority for yourself from the heart space. Love. I'm not saying don't eat from now on. But I'm just saying, love and light are all we need. This is a card of consideration too, by the way. So Spirit's going to come in and let you know that they're with you. They're going to offer you insights. And I have said lots of times to people, you want to interact with Spirit? Interact with Spirit. Engage with Spirit. Ask them to be a part of your daily life, your thoughts, things of that nature. If you trust your guides implicitly, then you would definitely want to, encourage them to enter your thoughts. I did many, many years ago, and that's only because I trust my guides and I know who's who, and I keep inventory and I have staff meetings and all that stuff. But if you're good with your guides and you know who's who and what's going on, you can give them permission to enter your thoughts and just put that command in there that they let you know and it's them and not you, right? Like that you're not the one thinking, and so you'll know when you're thinking your own thoughts, and you'll know when you're being inspired or when you're channeling information, that kind of thing. But be in the heart space. And love is all we need. Coming back to that, love and fear do not necessarily exist well in the same space if they exist there at all. You can totally dispel that fear with love. Just saying. So be in that space. Nine of Swords in the mind space says, think about the thoughts you're thinking. Think about the stuff that you're worried about, you're fearful of. And just know it's okay. You can be in a place of command and you can override those thoughts. You can, eliminate those thoughts and extricate yourself from that little stream of consciousness that's going on. In the body space, go inside, feel yourself lots of light, full of light. I always talk about doing the connection and some sort of protection for yourself. So do that, but be in that space. And the King of Cups, of course, comes in with Spirit once more to say, go in your heart space. They'll help you find whatever it is you need there to suit you, to be in command and in authority for yourself, right? In a place of authority for yourself from the heart space. That means that you're ruling with love, right? Everything is being decided through love. So, all right, into the brick. What do we got here? Anything else I'm missing? No, good. Look at that. A gift from life. These cards. Each day, life offers me abundant proof that the universe loves me. Every day, God sends angels to help me. Today, I will receive an angelic message. It may come from someone with whom I speak or from words that I read. I will listen closely, as this message is a divine gift meant to help me make my way in love and maintain my spiritual strength. We're not alone. We do have help. Lots of support, encouragement, and empowerment. Yeah, love that stuff. And, it seems heavy. But love lightens everything up. It always lightens everything up. Okay, Seeds of Light. Here we go. By Danielle Venables. Artwork by Stephanie Wicker Campbell. Much easier to say. Okay. These are lovely. What do we have? Brand new deck. Oh my. Love the gold foil. Yeah. Anybody who's played with cards knows the feel of a brand new deck with this gold foil on it. Lovely. Okay. Here we go. Which one shall we pick? Pick one. Let's pick one. Pick one. Which one? Which one do I pick? That one. Okay, he says. I've never heard that word before. Okay, I do want to say, this says, when you move in unwavering devotion to the desires of your heart, you can move mountains with faith alone. Hear that? And we are all ready for a world full of love, ruled by love, lit up by love. And so that's what we have to keep thinking of. Everybody remember that. Okay, impermanence. Yes, I guess I've heard that word before. Just not necessarily looked at it and seen it that way. Here we go, impermanence. Nothing lasts forever. Enjoy the journey. The illusion of permanence is often a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's the idea of making a home in the comfort zone of familiarity. It creates a subtle complacency in creating change within your circumstances, no matter how desirable or miserable those circumstances may be. Energetically subscribing to the idea of permanence, no matter how unconsciously, not only dulls sensations like joy and elation when life is good, but also makes tough times even harder because you lose sight of the simple truth that this too shall pass. Worse than that, it simultaneously closes you off from seeing new paths forward and stepping onto a meaningful trajectory for change, prolonging your suffering. This card reminds you to embrace the twists and turns on your path, all of the good, bad, and ugly too, folks. When you can adopt the attitude of impermanence, it becomes easier to embrace the fullness of the journey. You'll fully know and trust that the hard times won't last forever, and you'll have an easier time letting go of what is no longer yours to carry. You'll remain centered on your path, knowing circumstances will inevitably get better instead of falling into patterns of feeling like the victim in your story. You'll release the grip on what you think life should look like and begin to flow with the currents of life itself, and ultimately find greater fulfillment in every step along the way. Interesting. What stories, struggles, or outdated comforts are you gripping onto? And how can a mindset of impermanence help you navigate this season of your life with more grace, gratitude, and fulfillment? What a nice card that is. All right. Look at that. It's a beautiful card. The whole deck is lovely. Lovely energy to it. All right. Now this one I have to say, this is my second purchase of this deck. I had another one that I used, and for some reason been called to give away some of those cards at a retreat I was at once before, and somewhere along the way before as well. So yeah, I'm shy on that one, and I've been really wanting to get it again, so I thought I'm going to get it and we're going to use it this week. All right, got it. Okay, spread them out. These cards are so nice too. Look at the side of this. Love the sacred geometry. Just love the sacred geometry. Okay. Oh, I like this one. Look at that. Can you see it? Just beautiful. I allow myself to receive. Bring it a little closer for you. Okay. My needs are always known by my divine self, even before I ask. I give thanks and allow myself to receive. Countless blessings always come to me effortlessly. Now think about that. We are caught up in this world and we think we have to effort everywhere. You have to apply yourself all the time. And yes, there is some action that that does need to take place sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. It's actually in the word attraction. You have to take some action. So, but doing all of that, what good is it if you're not open to receive? If you're not allowing yourself to receive? So, trusting that no matter what we see going on or what we feel going, down is not good or whatever, we are being supplied for in every moment, all the time. And as long as we keep our focus on that and know that our needs are met by the divine, because we're not abandoned here. It seems like we have nobody here on our side, but that's not the case. It seems like, evil is everywhere and absolutely, taking over, but it's not. And the only reason I've said before that we see it as strong as we do is because our light is proportionate. Our light is exactly equal to that. So what you see out there in darkness means that you and others like us, all of us together, are shining bright enough to bring that kind of darkness to the surface so that it can be dispelled. Allowing yourself to receive is super important, and remembering that while we're here, being in the world, we do not have to be of it. And here in our space in the world, we are totally always supplied for in our every moment. Every moment. Love that. Okay, let's read what the book says. If there's anything in the book. Is there anything in the book? Nothing in the book. Just a little bit about the cards. Okay. Once more. I allow myself to receive. So, the Nine of Swords says, in the mind space, we might be facing some fears. Don't let them get you. Don't let the anxiety, take over. And, I know it's hard. I know there's a lot of nasty stuff that's being revealed about people that, well, we thought were nice, and they're not. Clearly. It's hard. It's hard. It's a hard, hard truth to swallow. But now that you have, don't put your stakes on that. Do not put your, all of that energy into that. Don't idolize anybody. That's really what we're being shown here, isn't it? Not to idolize stars. Those are fallen angels. Every one of those come from the legion of 200 that were fallen angels. And those stars that we're supposed to look up to are showing us and reminding us that, we're supposed to look inward. Inside yourself. Go inside. Be the recluse. Discover who you are here. We don't care who they are. They're showing themselves to be who they are. Who are you at your core, at your heart, at your center? Who are you? Face those fears. Remember, light them up. They'll go away. They'll go away. And that heaviness will also go away. The Hermit, as we go inside, lighting ourselves up, dispels the darkness. And the King of Cups says, Spirit comes in to say, you hold that authority. You be the sovereign of your being, of your heart space. And always, always know Spirit's there to support you in that. It's a gift from life. It's a gift from light with the brick. Right? Each day offers us abundant proof that the universe loves us. Focus on the right things, folks. Focus on the right things. All the good stuff that we're looking for. And remember that impermanence is a thing. Impermanence. Nothing lasts forever. Everything is temporary. You're temporary. You're only here for a little while. You'll come back again, unless you learn how to get out of the gate. You'll come back again, like we've always done, continuously, right? Recycling is not new. I've said that for years to people. The blue box part might be, but the concept is not. We have been doing it for a long time. Allow yourself to receive. So, once you clear those thoughts out, and you recognize the gift in life, and all the gifts that life has offered you, the beautiful abundance, be grateful for it. The gratitude is going to multiply. And then as it does, be open to receive. That's how you elevate. That's how you ascend. That's how you do what you came here to do, folks. So, thank you so very much for joining me here tonight. And every Saturday night live that you do. And I look forward to the next one. Now remember, Wednesday's the new moon. At what time? Oh, 9:23 p.m. 9:20 Eastern Daylight. And then the equinox comes in at 10:46 a.m. Ooh, you know what? Mercury goes direct then too. Yes. Mercury, this whole time has been about going inside, reviewing, resetting, looking over stuff, taking inventory, all of that. Great time for all of us to do the spring clean. Mind, body, and spirit. Right? All the way through. Namaste. I absolutely love and honor the place in you where the light dwells. And I know you do that for me. And when the light is strong and bright in me, and your light is strong and bright in you, and we've joined together, we become one light. Namaste. Until next time, folks, on the next Psychic Saturday Night Live, just in that beautiful 24 hours of, not even the 10 hours, 15 hours of the equinox. So until then, enjoy this week ahead and have fun. Lighten up. Stay bright. Spring's here. Yes, spring is finally here. Take care. Bye now.